What's up, MTV Cribs? Welcome to my greenhouse. What's up, party crashers? Welcome back to my channel. So last time I left you, I was waiting on a greenhouse that did arrive on Wednesday. The day before, we did get a huge shipment of wood chips from a local arborist. Shout out to getchipdrop.com for setting up a service that is personally genius. I think it's absolutely genius. Arborists get called out to people's homes to cut down trees or mulch up fallen trees, and then they have to go to faraway locations and drop it off and sometimes pay for the privilege of doing so, whereas gardeners are always looking for mulch, always looking for a large supply of it to either mulch the top of their garden, in between shrubs, or the pathways in between raised garden beds. So getchipdrop.com, hashtag non-spons, is an amazing service that is actually nationwide. I first heard about it from a YouTuber whose channel is called @acre_homestead. So if you haven't checked her out, please do. She is on the Pacific Northwest. I believe she's either in Oregon or Washington, and I am clearly in the Boston area on the Northeast coast. So very far away, and yet the exact same service was able to bring me a huge amount of wood chips about 10 days after I put in the request. Pretty amazing in my experience. The only two catches, full disclosure, is that A, you don't get to choose what kind of tree it is. It's whatever they just recently cut down in your area. And B, you kind of have to take the whole load. If you don't have a lot of property and you don't think you could use almost a full metric ton of mulch at the same time, this may not be the service for you. But if you do need a lot, or if you're like us and you're basically re-landscaping your entire property from scratch, this could be a pretty helpful service for you. So feel free to check out getchipdrop.com and see if they do have services in your local area. It's worth a shot. It's a free service. And also feel free to check out Acre Homestead if you get the chance. I genuinely enjoy her channels. And I'd imagine that some of my content may be very similar to hers. So if you're watching this for the gardening content, you may actually really enjoy the content that she's putting out as well. Today, Jens is clearing out some of the brush behind the rock wall. It's a lot of things that the previous owners had left behind and that had fallen from the trees back there. And we just want to clean it up before the plants start growing, because we do have a lot of plans for that back rock wall, and we just want it to be a clean start to anything that we add to the space. We don't want it to look very messy and busy, and just, there's nothing like a blank, clean slate when you start putting something new in and watching it grow. It's just, I can imagine it's going to be so rewarding and fulfilling. So he's back there working on that humongous project. That's not a small undertaking. That's a huge undertaking that he's doing right now. So I fully appreciate that he's doing that solo. I have decided to take on the project of cutting up a humongous tree that fell on our property. If you are here from Instagram, you probably remember a post that I made back in the fall, right before the winter, where a humongous tree fell on our property. It fell maybe a month or two after we had moved in, and we were still having things done to the home. We had to get a radon mitigation system put into our basement. That was quite expensive. We had to put in a whole new electrical breaker with a new amperage service. So there was a lot of things that we were paying for at the time. And since the tree didn't damage any of the property, it just literally fell next to the driveway, didn't damage anything, we decided to wait on what we were going to do with it. We also didn't know what we were going to do with it, because that's a lot of wood. That was an oak tree that fell. Oak is expensive, and with inflation, it's extra expensive. So we were trying to think of all these cool crafts and, you know, creative ways of using this log. We were going to get a planer and make some planks and cure them in the basement, maybe make our own new cabinetry in the kitchen, maybe make a new tool bench or like a work station in the basement. We just weren't sure, and we wanted the time to think about it. Well, winter has come and gone. It is now spring, and we are still like so overwhelmed by this tree. It is a humongous tree. And like I said, we got it under control. We got all the branches cut off of the main trunk. We got all the foliage moved away. Everything was cleaned up, but the tree trunk was still left there, and it's humongous. So what we have decided to do is turn 98% of it into firewood, because we actually burned through almost all of the firewood that we had in reserve for the winter, which is fine. That's what it was there for. But now we need to cut and cure new firewood for next winter. So I am actually going to go out there with a chainsaw, and I am going to cut up as much of that tree as I can on that, this afternoon. And I'm also going to look for sections of the trunk that would make really good side table for the fire pit outside next to the Adirondack chairs. I am also looking for a brander to brand the top of the trunk. I think it'd be pretty cool if Jens and I had like a family logo or our initials put into the crafts that we do. And even though it's just a section of a trunk and I didn't actually make it, it would just be cool to be able to have our own family brand that we can put on any of the projects that we do, because we do expect to be doing a lot of woodworking in the future months. So stay tuned for that. Okay, without further ado, let's get outside. Let me show you the greenhouse. It's not very exciting. Like I said, it's a temporary greenhouse. I don't think it's going to be very impressive on its own, but I will say that since I put up that greenhouse, I no longer need the grow lights in the basement. So it was about 3 weeks I was using the grow lights and the heating mats and everything, and now everything can go outside. So I was able to clean that up, put the lights away, put the heating mats away, wipe off all the dirt that had fallen on my station. It was just for a short amount of time, and I'm really, really happy that now everything is outside. Okay, let's go outside. What's up, MTV Cribs? Welcome to my greenhouse. As you can see, they are thriving, and the lilies, the oriental lilies, have started to pop up. So I am definitely putting them in the ground this weekend. But we have a yellow bell pepper, we have some tomatoes on the vine, all looking great. Over here we have our tomatoes and tomatillos and basil. So after the transplant, they were looking quite rough. I think they are starting to look a lot better. I did rotate this tray so that the ones that are growing this way will start to grow back that way, because that's why they're all leaning. So I think that they are looking very good. I feel very confident about their progress. Over here, I have the leeks. They look crazy. Just don't look at those. And the bib lettuce. Once again, they look very crazy. Kale, Brussels sprouts, and baby choy back here. The leggier ones, I'm not sure how they're gonna do, but I did overplant, so if I need to toss those, that's fine. Every cup has at least one that is growing well, so that's pretty much it. Oh wait, no, down here I have, oh gosh, oh dear. Alright, so we have lemongrass growing great. We have some reapers. I think we have about 5 reapers so far. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's a 5th one there, and then there was another one actually. I don't even remember where it was. Maybe that was it. Okay, so definitely at least 5. These other ones I planted on Tuesday or Wednesday, so they haven't come up yet, but I did add sugar snap peas, beets, broccoli, and romaine lettuce. Over here, I have my spare soil and some extra trays and my little sprayer that I showed you last week. So yeah, I think we're in good shape. process of bringing the humongous compost pile, it doesn't look very big because I've already moved so much of it, over closer to where the garden's going to be. But I just want to show you the breakdown of this material. So it's starting to turn really, really black, which is great. And by moving it over, this is actually doubling as its final turn. But what I can't seem to find right now, but I was seeing when I was lifting all the compost into this wheelbarrow, is that there are a ton of earthworms. So it's definitely going to be breaking down perfectly. This is exactly what I wanted to see. Found it. Oh no, oh no, oh no. They're so big. And look at how well this is broken down. Oh, this garden's gonna be amazing. Welcome back. It is Tuesday, and I wanted to show you how I'm starting my next compost pile. You've seen that I have a humongous one over here that's a bit closer to the garden. I had to break up the one that was over there because it was just too big for me to turn every few days. So I feel like 2 more manageable size piles was better for my back. But I am now starting a new one because those 2 piles are about ready to be used soon, probably in the next couple weeks. But then I need more compost for the next succession of plants and for the beds that we're going to be putting in. So we went grocery shopping this weekend. This is a biodegradable bag here. And when I was food prepping, I went ahead and saved all the scraps. So we have some banana peels, a bunch of coffee grounds that I've just been dumping into a bin specifically just for coffee grounds. We make a pot of coffee every morning, so I have probably, gosh, I don't know, maybe a cubic foot of used coffee grounds already, which is excellent. I also have some eggshells in there. Every time I make breakfast, I go ahead and throw, I crumble up and then I throw the eggshells in this bag, and then I also have a biodegradable paper plate. So yeah, some tomatoes, some cabbage, a bunch of stuff. I'm just going to toss this right on top of the browns. I'm going to moisten it a little bit with the water from the dehumidifier. I also just sprayed down this pile right before I started filming, so that's it. It's going to take me all of 2 seconds, and I probably won't come out here and touch anything related to the garden again until Thursday or Friday at the latest. Oh my god, I'm so scared of how productive we're going to be today. We're doing the garden bed today, guys. I've decided I want the first garden bed to be around this area. I think these are just sprouts they didn't pluck out before they started to become new shrubs or bushes. So I'm just going to dig all of this up. I'm going to leave the holly back there. I don't know if you can see it right there. I'm going to leave that alone and then probably move these little rocks. It's like a little fake makeshift fire pit, but we actually have our own fire pit right there. So no need for this. Clean all this up, and we're going to put the raised bed rectangularly this way. What is going on? Happy Monday, everyone. So right now, what I am doing is Jen spent a little bit of time breaking up the dirt and the ground that was going to go
under the bed. So I'm going through and I'm trying to shake off all the roots of the grass and the weeds and things and try to remove them from the bed because we don't want any weeds to sort of germinate in our bed where we're going to put the vegetables. And also there's a ton of roots, like really, really big, thick roots that we had to break up with the shovel and with trimmers, like hedge trimmers, from the different bushes and things that have been growing here, basically unattended for, it seems like a decade. I have no idea. But we're doing our best. And yeah, so I mean, what's going on with all of you guys? What's the hippity haps? What's new in the game? What are you guys binging these days? Jens and I just started Better Call Saul. I am loving it. I feel like if you were a Breaking Bad fan and you're looking for that itch to be scratched, Better Call Saul is definitely that part. Plus, Mr. Fring, aka Gustavo, is back in it, and he is just so hard to read. Half of the movie, I feel like I'm just trying to figure out what his game is, and I'm watching it from, his perspective, and I still have no idea what his plan is. Anyway, sorry. Let me see what royalty-free jams we can play on Casa de KQ 1039.
There's not much to do when all I can is thinking about you. Not doing well, don't know where you are, 'cause you're not here. It's been way too long. If I could lay down beside you, I would. When nothing really matters, that's all I wanna do. I hope that you are safe and that I will see you soon. If I could lay down beside you, I would. We talk on the phone every night. Love to hear your voice, not sleeping well. And I know that you're right, but you should know it. You've been gone for way too long now. If I could lay down beside you, I would. When nothing really matters, that's all I wanna do. I hope that you are safe and that I will see you soon. If I could lay down beside you, I would. Even if you're gone, I won't forget you. You're all I know, what I need, and that ain't changing. Even if you're gone, I will.
Okay, I think it looks pretty amazing. We just nailed some of this, what is it called?
It's wire mesh.
Wire mesh, or threading. I forget what they call it at Home Depot. If I think of it, I'll put it here. But we just nailed that to the bottom of the raised bed so that the groundhogs cannot get into the bed from underneath. And then we're going to surround the bed with more of this as well. And we have a couple 2-foot T-posts for the corners. So it's time to start filling.
very pleased with the outcome. We mixed a nice 1-to-1 mix of the organic soil with the compost, and we threw that on top. Right now it's looking a little bit shallow to me, but that might just be because we used 10 inches height, I guess. Yeah, that might just be because we have 10 inches of height here, which is a little bit higher than what I was originally planning for. So we're either going to go ahead and use it as is, and over the years just keep adding to the beds over time, or next weekend, which wouldn't be a huge deal, I might just pick up another couple bags of the organic soil and 1 bag of the cow manure that I added this first time, and then just add another layer. But besides that, I think it looks great. To protect the microbes that are in the soil right now, since we're not going to plant until next weekend, I think I just want to protect it from the elements. So instead of using leaves, I'm just using cardboard boxes. Whatever we had left, I threw on top, and then I threw a few logs of wood on top because we do have some pretty strong winds and I didn't want them getting blown away.
Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I cannot wait to get some of these plants planted into this garden bed. If you're new, please subscribe. If you like this video, please hit the like button, and feel free to give me any and all comments or feedback down in the description box. I'll see you all next week. Bye.